So moving on to the Times now. Martin, you're going to lead us here. Your colleague Gary Jacob writes, Arsenal eye ground expansion. Can you elaborate on the story?
Yeah, Arsenal, 20 years on from building their new stadium, which has been a sort of cash generator for them. Now looking up the road to Tottenham Hotspur and just realising actually they're falling behind in the amount of money that this stadium generates. So I think Tottenham, they generate more than £6 million every home match. Arsenal is probably closer to 4 million. So there is a gap there, and so Arsenal are looking at ways how can they expand the Emirates, increase the capacity, get more people in, perhaps more, hospitality boxes, because that is one way in which they can try and get back onto an equal footing financially.
Is this going to become more commonplace, Miguel, do you think, especially with FFP and other regulations?
I think it's very interesting. I was at the Leaders in Sport conference last week, which obviously a lot of it is actually about investment in football, finance, the commercial side. And a bit of a theme of it was basically that a lot of, say, the income that has defined the last 20 years of football, which is basically the global expansion, multimedia, not that it's kind of basically that market is at a mature point, and where an increasing number of clubs are seeing the opportunity for more revenue is in their stadium, in hosting events, in hospitality and corporate. I think there's an issue for fans there, in that I'd be worried maybe about how many clubs are thinking about upping season ticket prices, or even potentially bringing in more one-off tickets to attract or to kind of capitalise on the Premier League's immense international popularity, which I think would be it would be a very negative move for the sport to go that way. But yes, increasingly a number of clubs see stadiums as maybe their main revenue generator. And there's a bit of an irony there, given that when this stadium was built and completed for 2006, it was one of those cases where it was almost built at exactly the wrong time, because that was just at the point where a lot of new money started to come into the sport. Obviously, Abramovich was the big one in taking over Chelsea. Suddenly, basically, almost changed Arsenal's plans overnight. And then, of course, the City takeover 2 years after that. And now that might have come full circle again, to the point Arsenal can think about making the stadium bigger, because it's where the main money is.